Mhm. Welcome back to Sportsmania. Yes, the host has returned. Thank you to Abdi for the cover, but we're back. We've got Kevin Campbell as a guest. We've got John Travolta, apparently in my absence as a producer. So let's go. Hit the intro.
Priceless gem!
Yes, there it is. Welcome to the special Premier League show. Well, one of Premier League. We usually do on a podcast, but we took it to YouTube and we'll find out why right now. Let me introduce first the regular panel. We've got Abdi, George, Luke, and Austin, aka John Travolta, apparently. How are we doing, boys?
Well, good, Hubert.
Still in
and
one
yourself?
piece. Still in one piece.
Good. Oh, good. Glad to be
I'm
back.
good, thanks, mate.
Thank you, Abdi and George, for covering my hosting duties. Very much
No
appreciated.
worries, man. No worries.
Any-
And we do have the star of the show, Mr. Kevin Campbell. Welcome to Sportsmania, sir.
Hubert, thank you. Thank you very much, guys. Luke, Georgie boy, John Travolta, Austin, and Abdi, Abdullah. How are you guys? I'm glad to be here with you today.
Fantastic.
Hey,
Well,
Well,
have you?
it's a pleasure to have you. It's an absolute honor. And, well, without further ado, I will hand you over to George, to the big man, to do the Arsenal chat. Over to you.
Cheers, mate. No pressure. Eh?
Yeah, not at all,
Just
mate.
that again, want to say, Kev, thanks for coming on. It's absolutely an honour, absolute legend. So we're going to talk about the obviously Arsenal played Watford. So just wanted to get your opinions on what you thought of the game, really, on the whole.
Yeah, my thoughts were Arsenal done what they needed to do. Looked very exciting going forward, didn't they? Which was really good. I think Saka and Odegaard, that connection really came to the fore on Sunday, and produced the first goal was fantastic move. But Watford responded, and it is a derby game, so I know we're expected to win all the time because these teams are so-called lesser than us, but you still have to get the job done. And let's be honest, Watford's goal was absolutely fantastic. Great play down their right-hand side cross and a great overhead kick, pegged us back. And then that man Saka came to the fore, didn't he? Our boy Wonder. Robbed the midfielder of the ball cleverly, shifted it, fed the ball into Lacazette, and Lacazette played such a great assist, taking it away from the defender, rolling it back, and what a finish that was, to make it 2-1. Odegaard then and Partey were running the show. Great finish by Martinelli, who didn't have his best game, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah, I thought he was. I didn't think he was. It weren't his best run for me.
Yeah,
but then
he
obviously
weren't his best.
Oh well.
Yeah, it weren't his best game, Georgie, and but that was that was a great finish. Yeah. So, look, to go at 3-1 and we were controlling the game was great, but I think there was a little bit of lax defending to let Sissoko go on and score to make it 3-2. I think 3-1 would have been about right. 3-2 just made it seem as though it was a bit more of a worry than it really was. But at the end of the day, winning the game is all important. That's 4 wins on the spin now after, a very difficult January. So fair play to Mikel Arteta and the team. The team performed, and when you get to this time of the season, it's just about the W, isn't it? You got to win those games.
Definitely.
And getting over the line was important.
So obviously I've got a couple of questions about the game. So are you an Arteta man, or are you?
Yeah, I am. Listen, anybody who's manager of the football club, I will back them.
Yeah.
That's what I am. And Mikel Arteta, when he came in, more experienced managers got bypassed. And they got bypassed, to be honest, because there was a serious job that needed to be done. There was a serious root and branch of the dressing room that needed to be done. Change needed to happen. There needed to be a change in the culture. There needed to be a change in the mindset at the football club. And it weren't going to just happen overnight. But, I think Mikel Arteta then coming in and winning the FA Cup gave him a little bit of impetus.
Yeah, I agree.
And obviously lockdown came, and let's be honest, we were awful, weren't we? We were awful. We were awful that season, and no fans in the stadium or stadiums, etc. We were awful. We struggled big time at the Emirates. Nearly broke the record for losing at the Emirates back to back. So it was difficult. But all in all, he's gone about his business, trying to change the personnel in the dressing room, trying to change the age, and now from this season, it's his team. After the first 3 games when we were bottom, I know there was a lot of people losing their mind. But, give him his due. They stayed calm. And this team now resembles something that you could see, okay, we're not exactly there yet, but we can actually start to understand what he's trying to build. We do need more players, of course, and more talent. But, I mean, those youngsters we've got are special, aren't they? They're special.
Yeah, they definitely are.
Very, very special.
So going on the youngsters, on Saka, so obviously you'd have experience of this. I've heard a lot of rumours that they're comparing Saka to Rocky. What would you say about that?
No comparison, really. I think Saka's a totally different player. Don't forget Dave Rocastle.
Yeah.
Could play centre midfield. He could play wide. He could play in the number 10. He could play both sides on wingers. So, and Rocky, if you watch Rocky play, he was tough as anything. Not only did he have Brazilian skills, but, any ball 50-50s, Rocky never pulled out of a tackle. He would go straight in because he's played centre midfield as well. So I think they're different players. I understand Saka wears the 7. And, that comparison, Rocky wore the 7. I think, Saka is a special talent, but I don't want to put that pressure on him just yet because, Rocky was an absolute incredible player and friend and brother and a gooner. So Saka's getting there slowly but surely, but I don't want to put that pressure on him.
Cool. And also, final point on the game. So, as the viewers know, and a lot of people on here know, I'm not a huge fan of Alex Lacazette. So I think he's in the team. He's in the team. He doesn't score enough goals for me. He works hard, so I just wanted your opinion on it, really.
Yeah, look, Georgie, I'll be honest with you. At the end of the day, if you're not scoring, you've got to be contributing. Now, the fact of the matter is, in the last 9 games, Lacazette scored 1 goal.
Yeah.
You would say, everybody on the panel would say that's not good enough. But when you look at 8 assists, then you got to say, he's playing his part. He's doing a role for the team.
Yeah.
And without Lacazette, we are not the same.
No.
We don't look the same.
He's the experience, isn't he?
He's got the experience. Right. He's got the know-how. And you know what? Half the battle sometimes is if you're not doing the business, but you make people around you better. Yeah. Then he's undroppable as far as I'm concerned. If he's fit, he's got to play. So I understand. His goal output isn't what it was, but he is really contributing to the team, and other players are getting the benefits of his play. So, I'm a Lacazette fan. I've obviously want him to score more goals, but if he's going to lay 2 goals on a game, no problems from me.
Yeah. So also we'll come to obviously Arsenal's top 4 chances because someone on the panel called Abdi. We've been talking about Arsenal's top 4 chances. He thinks we're in cruise control of it in a sort of a way. It's ours to lose. I'm sure that was what he said at one time. But
is that what you said, Abdi?
I'll get into it. But
no, is that what you said, Abdi? Yeah.
No, what I said was I feel like
Four.
Arsenal are more in control at the moment of the top four race, and I did say it is theirs to lose at the moment because they are 1 point ahead of United. They've got 3 games in hand, and they're in the best position at the moment going forward. So unless Arsenal drop off their form and they start dropping points left, right, and centre, and United pick up form again, then it's going to be a whole different story. But at the moment, as it stands, I think Arsenal are in the best position to go forward and go for that top four.
On paper, yeah, I agree, Abdi. On paper, I agree.
Form-wise too.
Well,
They've been winning.
look, here's what I will say to you. There are 13 games left, and every week is going to be higher pressure. Man United players, we could argue they haven't been in form, etc., but they came second last season.
Yeah.
They've done the course and the distance before. Arsenal haven't. So this is kind of all new to Arsenal. Yeah, we do have games in hand, but the games in hand are against Liverpool, Chelsea, and I think it's Spurs. So you know, it's a difficult one. But if you said that to me, we'd be in this position with 13 games to go, I would have taken it, Abdi. I'll be honest with you. So, you know, we are in a good position, but there's a lot of football to be played before the end of the season. We've got to play Hubert's Chelsea. We've got to play Luke and Abdi's Man United in between as well. So, you know, and we've got to play Spurs, obviously, a North London derby. So those are going to be the key games that determine where we end up, I suppose, Georgie.
Yeah, I agree. I'm been kind of playing it down a bit. I've been like, oh, well, if we can get 6 points out of Watford, Leicester, and then go into the Liverpool game in as best a position as we can, and if we get anything from Liverpool, that's positive for me.
The thing is with when I was saying this with the Arsenal thing as well, is I feel like what you guys struggled with last year was beating teams that you should be beating, and I feel like you're doing that this year, where you're beating the teams that on paper you should be beating and getting those results.
Eighth, though, last season.
You did, but this season I'm talking about, you're doing better with beating teams that you should be beating. You're not losing in the ways that you were losing or dropping silly points that you shouldn't be dropping.
I get that,
and I feel like there's a different mindset and mentality at Arsenal, and the culture is kind of different a little bit. You know, you got rid of people on high wages. You got rid of people that didn't really fit Arteta's system anymore, and he's done what he's done, and he's brought in players that fit what he wants to build, and he's building for the future. Maybe you might not get top four. It's not going to be a guarantee, of course not. There's still a lot of football to be played, but at the moment, I feel like if you look at all of those teams, Arsenal have the better mindset, the better form, and sort of the better mentality to go forward. United, they're sort of in disarray at the moment. Sure, they might pick up a few points here and there, but the mindset is nowhere near the leaks that are coming out of that dressing room. They're not together like the way the Arsenal players are together. They play for each other, whereas United play as a team. Spurs, on the other hand, you know, they're hit and miss with their form. West Ham, I'm not going to count them out, but I'd fancy Arsenal over West Ham. So that's where I was coming from with that.
Yeah. Makes sense. That's fair. Yeah.
Does anyone else on here have any questions for Kev before I carry on?
I do.
Go on then.
Go on, Austin.
Well, this is a question from someone, seeing as we're on the topic. That is from someone called John Gooner. He has commented saying, Kevin, how would you have fitted into that team, and where would you play yourself now?
Maybe 30 goals a season, Kev.
Yeah, top scorer.
You got to play number 9. Got to play number 9. Got to play to link the play. And I mean, I'm seeing crosses going in that box and nobody's in there, and I'm thinking, wow, what's going on?
You know, you wish you had balls like that.
It's amazing. It's amazing. These youngsters are so mature. You know, there's so much pressure on their shoulders, but they're delivering. Yeah. And I just think to myself, if Arsenal, you know, take myself out of the equation, but we know Arsenal need a number 9. They need a striker or 2. Yes. So John makes a good point. I would have put myself at number 9. We need a number 9. We get a number 9 who can link the play and score goals. We are in business, guys, I tell you, because if you look at some of them games earlier on in the season where we missed chances, a striker of half note would have made the difference for us.
Yeah, I agree with that. I've been saying that all season.
Yeah. So I just think that, Lacazette's doing a great job right now, but we have to upgrade that position by 1 or 2 players in the summer. That's for sure.
Kevin, the question I have for you is, what's your view on Aaron Ramsdale? Because when he came into Arsenal, a lot of people were kind of doubting, saying, "Oh, it was in 2 teams which, he got relegated with them," and then he came out and he's been probably one of, if not the best goalkeeper in the Premier League this season.
Hubert, that's a great point. And do you know what? I absolutely take pleasure in calling these people out. Do you remember he hadn't even signed, and people were saying that we don't want you at our football club, etc., etc. That's ridiculous. Give the man a chance. And fair play to him. He's come in as a number 2, but he said he's going to battle for the number 1 spot. And that is the right attitude to have. He's got the right attitude. That's why all of those players that came in have the right attitude. And he's ripped the number 1 shirt from Leno. And I don't think he had his best game at the weekend. But this season, he has been sensational for Arsenal. He really has been sensational. He's been definitely one of the best goalkeepers in the Premier League. And I think he's a character that the fans love him because, he's all goalkeepers are crazy, right? All goalkeepers are mad. So his antics that go on, when the ball's at the other end of the pitch, he's entertainment in itself. So I think he's a good goalkeeper. He's young, and he could be the goalkeeper at Arsenal for the next 10, 15 years.
Yeah, I agree with that. So we're going to ask you a couple of questions, if that's all right, like separate questions. So question I've got is, who's the best player when you was playing that you ever played with in the same team?
I could take the pick. Actually, I'm lucky. I played with the likes of Tony Adams.
Yeah.
Rocky was incredible, absolutely incredible. I think one of the most underrated players I played with who was excellent was Alan Smith. Alan Smith was real top class. And one of my favourites was Anders Limpar. He was that good when he came. Honestly, he was that good. Paul Merson was good. So I could say Tony Adams. I could say Rocky. I could say, obviously, Ian Wright. Ian Wright was absolutely incredible when he came to the football club.
One of my favourites, Righty.
Righty was. I could say any one of them. So, as you like Righty, Georgie, I say Righty. Because it's easy because it's easy to pick these guys.
He seems like a good character. I've met Righty once when I used to go Highbury when I was young, and he just seems like really down to earth. To be fair.
Oh, he's definitely
he's a decent chap,
guy.
He is.
Yeah, top guy.
Does anyone else have any questions?
Have we got any more in the comments chat, Austin?
So John Guna replied to your answer, Kevin, saying that you would have smashed it. It's criminal. We don't have an out-and-out striker. No disrespect to Laka. He's performing miracles.
Yeah, and John, listen, John's got a point. Like we said before, Austin. We do know that somewhere where we have to upgrade. We have to upgrade that at the end of the season, and maybe 1 or 2 strikers we need because we still lack a little bit of muscle up the top end of the pitch. That's what I would say. We're a bit light up there, and if we're chucking crosses into the box, we don't have anybody who's going to challenge in there. So I think maybe we need somebody of size as well to go up with maybe a poacher. So that's a good question by John. So any questions, Luke, Abdi? Because I'm sure you're dying to ask a Man United question.
No, I actually don't. I have got a question, but if Luke has one, I'll let him go first.
Yeah, you say Arsenal need the number 9. Who would be your most realistic signing for Arsenal? Like not your Haaland and Mbappe's, but your most realistic one.
Hey, why not Haaland? Why not Haaland?
He's off to Spain.
Listen. Here's one thing. We would love Haaland, obviously, if he could come to the club. But I look at players like Jonathan David. I look at Isaac. at Real Sociedad. You know, there's a couple of strikers I think who could play that link player and score goals.
Yeah, for Arteta's system.
Yeah,
as
that
well.
would fit
Yeah.
because they can play up there on their own and link the play, but got the speed then to burst into the box and get on the end of crosses whipped in. So, you know, that type of player would suit Arsenal. You know what? We've got linked with Ollie Watkins at Aston Villa. Ollie Watkins is a good player, good young player.
Yeah.
He might be the second striker, if you know what I mean. He might be somebody we can buy. You get a David or an Isaac, and then you get an Ollie Watkins as well. I still think we need two bodies up there.
Sounds like what I've been saying for the last few weeks. I've been having this argument. Like everyone's saying Haaland, no chance. Why not? Like,
You're in the Champions League. If you get top 4, I don't see why you wouldn't.
but
Well,
his
look,
options are running out, so he ain't gonna I can't see him going to Spain because I can't see who's going to afford him. If Real Madrid sign Mbappe,
they're going to get Mbappe for free. If they get Mbappe for free
Which
and
people
buy
would
all
love.
the people for free, then Haaland
Listen,
won't be anything.
Real Madrid could afford him because you know what? Real Madrid haven't bought players for probably 3 years.
Yeah,
They've been waiting. They've been biding their time, Real Madrid, and now they're looking to really make some moves because the stadium's been refurbished now. They've got Vinicius Junior up to speed. They've brought Camavinga in. They've got Rodrigo going as well. You know, got a world-class manager in Ancelotti. So I'm sure they're going to want to win the Champions League, and they're going to need firepower.
Oh, definitely.
I've got a question. I wanted to ask you more about one of your other former clubs, not Arsenal, Everton.
Next.
No? Okay.
Go on, Abdi. Go on, mate. You're right.
No, I sorry, but I just want to ask you what your thoughts were of how they were this season in terms of they had Rafa Benitez. It obviously wasn't working out for them from the start. It was sort of doomed to fail. Yeah, and then they took a while to sort of get rid, and then brought in Frank Lampard, and they're still not doing so well. So I just want to get your thoughts on.
Yeah, I think. Listen,
what you think?
I'll be honest with you. I think the Rafa Benitez is a very experienced manager, safe pair of hands. You know, the way they started the season, Everton were flying. So you think to yourself, fair enough, you know, Rafa Benitez is doing a decent job. Then you get your main strikers injured. You get Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison out.
Yeah.
Solomon Rondon had just come back from, I think it was China he was playing, and he wasn't fit. You lose impetus. You lose the goal threat. All of a sudden, you're struggling. So Everton have been up there at the start and then fell away desperately. And it's just gone to show that this squad is nowhere good enough. Frank Lampard has come in after going so many games. I think they've won 2 games in, 14, 15.
yeah,
They've out of 11 or 12 away games, I think they've lost 10 and drawn 2. It's that form is going to get you in trouble. Let's be honest. You need to be able to win some games, but what does that tell you? That tells you that the mentality isn't right at the football club, and whether we like it or not, you boil it down. You got to look at the players. The players have not been good enough. It's that simple. Frank Lampard's came in. They've had good results at home, but that away form is where you need the mindset, the mentality, the culture to pick up results away, and they haven't got it. Everton haven't had it all season. So maybe Frank Lampard needs to tailor his system a touch away from home, make them a little bit more difficult to beat. But at home, they seem to be flying. Obviously, the 12th man, the Goodison Park faithful are good and help them. So maybe their fate, Everton's fate's going to come into their home form because they need some wins at home. They get a few wins, they'll be all right. But away from home, they've been absolutely awful, abysmal.
With their running coming up and everyone's seeing the fixtures of those, do you think they can stay up? I know there's other teams around them that aren't so good, like Leeds United as well, Burnley, Watford, Norwich. Do you think that with the run that Everton have, can they pick up some points to get away from that, or do you think they might? Yeah.
No, Abdi, look, I'm under no illusion. Everton are in a relegation scrap right now. And can they go down? 100% they can go down. They can go down. But for me, I just think they have a lot of talent in that squad, and they will do enough to stay up. I truly believe. And then you will see Frank Lampard rip that squad apart because it's not good. It's not good enough.
Yeah.
So the key is to just stay in the league, even if they finish, just one spot. 17th?
Yeah.
You finish 17th, and you just survive. Then you reset. The manager's going to go out into the summer, and he's got to revamp that squad because they're not good enough. By a country mile, they're not.
That's fine. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I've just got one more question before I know you've got to go. But so it's going back to Arsenal. So there's been a lot of talk, obviously, if Lacazette leaves in the summer, which is looking like, about who the captain would be. So I just wanted to get your thoughts on who you think. Me personally, I'm torn between Odegaard or Tierney. So I wondered what you thought.
Yeah, I think obviously Tierney gets the captain's armband when Lacazette goes off. So that says to me he's going to be captain. But I could see Odegaard being the vice captain. I think Odegaard doesn't say too much, but he lets his football do the talking, which I love that. I absolutely love that style. But I think we do need more of a swashbuckling captain now, someone who wears his heart on his sleeve a bit and who the fans could relate to. And I think that's Kieran Tierney. So I think Tierney gets the captain's armband, and his assistant will be Odegaard.
Yeah. Cool.
Sorry, can I just
Any more questions? It's all right. Keep going.
Can I just ask? I just want to ask two quick questions. Sorry, because one of the questions is one from me and John again. So John's asked another question, but I was also going to ask it. We want to know, Kevin, do you ever see yourself getting back into football? We both feel that you must have a lot to offer, possibly as a coach or even a manager.
Hey, by the way, Austin, John, I'm in football.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I am
That's
in
you told.
football. I'm in
Yeah,
football. Let me tell you, being in football isn't just coaching or management. Being in football is these podcasts here, because we're discussing the beautiful game, aren't we? We're discussing football. I do loads of media stuff, and I have two sons who are in football. So I'm a football dad as well. So
yeah, one of them plays for Stoke, doesn't they?
So again, I am involved in football. I was doing my coaching badges at Everton, and then I moved from there to West Brom to get with that team for the Great Escape. I've done that, and I was going to be on the staff of the coaching staff with Brian Robson, and it didn't quite work out, but that's okay. Football isn't just management and coaching. Football is a bit of everything, and tactics and talking with fans, etc. I think is a very good runner-up to being inside the football clubs, because you get to speak to so many different people, and everybody has their own opinions, don't they? We might have different opinions, but we could all discuss it and chop it up. We all support our teams, and for me, I find I get a lot of pleasure out of speaking to fans about football. So I am still in football, Austin.
Thank you, Kevin. And just one more, sorry, before you have to go. I just want to know, what was possibly one of the best parts of playing in Arsenal? One of your best ever sort of moments in the Arsenal squad.
Well, one of my best ever moments was knowing I stood on the North Bank and then making my home debut and scoring in front of the North Bank. Could you imagine that feeling? Believe you me, it's incredible to know. I never. You think to yourself, I wanna play for Arsenal. I'm an Arsenal fan. And then you get to the club and all that, but first team seems a long way away.
Yeah.
And then you imagine, you get the opportunity to go through the ranks, to play, and then you get into the first team squad, and then you get to play on the stage where there's kids in the stands who are feeling like I was.
Yeah.
And there I am coming on off the bench and scoring in front of the North Bank. You could have dug the ground up and put me in the ground then and buried me because I was happy. And then you get to be part of something special under George Graham with that team, winning league titles, winning FA Cup, League Cup, and the Cup Winners' Cup at Arsenal, being successful at the club who you support and you're playing doesn't get any better, Austin. Trust me, it doesn't.
And I've sat in that North Bank and it is very loud.
Yes,
very
it should
loud.
be.
Yeah.
Obviously, we know you've got to go. Just want to say.
No, I've got 5 minutes. Come on, I've got 5
cool.
minutes,
Got 5
guys.
minutes. Okay, George, do you mind if I just ask him this question from
No,
Tom?
that's fine.
So Tom has 2 questions for you, just quickly. He has said, most underrated players in the Highbury era. Do you agree, Paul Davis? He was an amazing talent for us.
Yep. Paul,
I agree with that.
there's 2 of those midfielders in there who I think were really underrated. Paul Davis was one, and Kevin Richardson was the other.
Yeah, he was in the '89 team, wasn't he?
Yeah, Kevin Richardson was an incredible player, incredible trainer, really good mindset, really good for the culture of the club. He moaned constantly, but it was all about standards. It was all about standards. He would moan and moan and moan, and then when you pressed him on it, it was about the standards. You've got to keep the standards high.
Yeah.
You cannot let the standards drop. And he was spot on. And the moment that clicked, the team went, took off. Yeah. So Kevin Richardson, but Paul Davis was like silk. Honestly, he was like silk. The left foot, so elegant on the ball, and what an absolute player. And we called him Pops because he was the older one of the South London boys, and he was like a father figure, Pops to us all, So I still see him. I still call him Pops now.
And the second question is, out of Emirates or Highbury, which stadium do you prefer?
Highbury all day long.
I've never been to Highbury. I was way too young.
Highbury, Austin, it's not a fair question, to be honest, because the Emirates is a beautiful stadium, fantastic, but unfortunately, it doesn't have the history yet of title wins and everything combined. There's a lot of history that goes into Highbury, and obviously I'm one of those kids who grew up going to Highbury. Going to the Emirates is a lovely day out. It's a lovely feeling. And I think there's been a lot of atmosphere at the stadium this season, thanks to the team and the fans combining. But believe you me, Highbury under the lights of an evening game, or, Arsenal going for titles at Highbury was really special, really special.
Yeah, it was amazing at Highbury. I'm older than Austin because some of the games in the Invincible season that I went to as well. So some of those games were quite special. And the Champions League nights. So.
Yeah, special times.
I've never experienced that yet, but I will do one day. I probably will. Yeah.
Austin, I hope you've been watching all the old Arsenal videos on YouTube.
I have actually.
Good. So you can feel the atmosphere, man. Feel the atmosphere.
Yeah. I'm going to be turning 21 soon, so hopefully, next season, Champions League, let's go for it.
Fingers crossed for sure. Fingers crossed.
I just want to say cheers for coming on as well, Kev. It's absolutely brilliant of you to come on, and it means a lot to us all.
No problem, Georgie boy. Hopefully, you get me on before the end of the season.
Yeah, definitely.
That'd be nice.
And then hopefully see you down the Emirates one time for the rest of the season or something.
Yeah, definitely.
And good luck with all the other stuff you got coming up, like the Hybrid Squad and your TV stuff.
Yeah, thank you very much, and appreciate you all. Thanks, Austin. Thanks, Abdullah. Thanks, Luke. Thanks, Hubert.
Thank you,
Georgie
Kevin.
boy, take
Yeah.
care.
Thanks, Kevin.
Cheers,
Look
mate.
after yourselves, guys.
Thank
Enjoy,
you,
Kevin.
enjoy,
Thank you
enjoy,
very
and
much.
I'll see you again soon before the end of the season.
Yeah,
all right, guys.
definitely,
We'll
mate.
speak to you soon,
Cheers,
Kevin.
mate.
Cheers.
Thank you.
See you, mate.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye. Bye.
Well, there it is. There it is. We thank you, Kevin Campbell, for coming on the show. First celebrity
At the
guest,
moment.
and what a smashing appearance it was. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you to everyone for the comments as well. Wow.
Have you got any more comments?
Have you got
yeah.
any? Well, let's go through them before Abdi's counselling session.
First,
Yeah.
I'd like to apologise to any viewers that we didn't manage to get any comments or questions across to Kevin. Obviously, he's on a very busy schedule, so I would like to
We're
apologise.
gonna get
Yeah,
him
we
on
had
for
very
longer.
limited
Get him
time.
back on.
So there'll be other
Yeah.
times, and he will come on for longer.
Yeah.
Is what he said off screen. So
Yeah.
just read the comments.
Yeah, let's see
Uh,
what else we got.
So we at the very beginning of the episode we had a lot of good evenings. We had from Tom. He said this show could break the internet tonight, which I'm pretty sure it will.
Who said
Hopefully.
it? Sorry?
You never know.
So Tom said that.
Oh,
Oh,
Tommy.
Tommy.
Tommy. My mate from college, Billy Bays.
Billy
What a
Bays.
name! Sorry,
Billy Bays.
I'm
Wow.
not taking
Bays.
the Rick there.
Um,
What a name!
wow.
That sounds like a gangster's
He's,
name.
he's a big
Proper.
Arsenal fan. He's a big Arsenal fan. He is. I
That
feel
sounds like
sorry-
a gangster's name, Billy. Welcome
Billy
to the show.
Bays.
I'm
He-
Austin's brother, but he's like,
Yeah.
all right, my name's Billy Bays.
he-
Honorary name, that is.
I
Has to
feel,
be
so,
there.
I feel so sorry for him because he lives in a household full of Villa fans and he's the only
Oh, dear.
Arsenal fan.
Oh, dear.
Villa? What'd they do? Get
yeah.
lost?
He just said my name with a hell of a lot of N's, but yeah, Billy, good to see you on the video.
Yeah, nice to see you here,
Nice.
Billy. Well, not see you, hear you, but.
So,
Whatever.
other than that, it was some questions.
Ah, my
one was
apologies.
from,
Bless you.
Bless you.
Brady's banana. He was going to ask Kevin if
Excuse me?
the,
Banana.
the name is Brady's banana.
I don't want to
Okay,
know.
cool.
Okay.
Okay.
What was the question?
So,
Maybe we
The
can answer
question,
it.
the question was Odegaard or Kieran Tierney. Odegaard, his English is a bit better. Winking face.
Oh.
And
Um,
then he also said that Everton played into Spud's hands, should have sat back. So
yeah,
Yeah.
I'll come to that.
They've got a
question.
championship back four.
I will come to that. That's
Should
probably
we
a
get
good
into-
point
we
because,
should we move on then? Let's move us. Yeah.
Tom
no.
put Austin, unbelievable. He even called you John Travolta. Haha.
Good. Well, that's what I wanted. I wanted that to happen. Why do you think I mentioned it? Right
It's an
then.
experience I'll never forget.
Let's then take this on then and discuss. Well, but first of all, I want to talk about Abdi, my friend. How do you feel? Do you want to talk about it? Go on, Manchester Derby. Tell us.
Aguero?
Talk to
Oh,
us.
sorry.
All right.
Pain, depression, despair, more pain, more depression, and more despair. What can I say?
Sorry.
George, I thought we were mates, man. I thought we were mates. I thought we were mates.
We are mates, mate, but you're in the top
Hello,
four,
Jimmy
mate,
Carr's
and you-
turned up over there.
and you got beat by City, and it was brilliant.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Not for you,
It
obviously.
wasn't a fun day.
You feeling blue, mate?
So
Oh,
Shut up.
sky blue, mate.
So yeah, piss off. It was a very long day, very early start. Traveling up to Manchester. It was a Sunday, so it was a slow train. So it took about close to 4 hours on that train.
Matic train.
Yeah,
Man United.
I
train.
could have done. We could have done with Matic, to be fair, but you know.
Oh, yeah, that's when you
Um,
know things are bad. When the
Oh,
No,
wow.
don't disrespect Matic.
We could have
Matic
done with a 400-year-old
Matic
Serbian
can't. No,
midfielder.
Matic can't play week in, week out, but he'll give you a good game here and there. So, with the proper rest, but
So could Kev.
Big
He
up,
could
Kev.
Anyway.
give us more good games. Now, Matic, he's
so yeah, I got down there. Game begins and stuff. We start off we started off well, I guess you could say. We went at them, we kept them back, we forced them into errors, and then afterwards they broke on us, got a goal, and I was like, "Oh, here we go then."
Here we go.
Yeah. We did get another goal back, Jadon Sancho, which was good.
Good goal, that.
They went, yeah, he took it well. Should have had a second to be fair, but yeah. Let's just get into the bad parts. After that, it went all downhill when they got their second. Just a catalogue of errors. The team, second half, they pretty much gave up. They gave up. They didn't go for it. They didn't try. The whole pressing didn't happen. They gave up on anything that Ralph told them. I don't know what he told them at half time, but they came out and it was just worse, to be fair.
By the sounds of things.
Yeah, defense was all over the place. Maguire let the ball run through his leg for the first goal, I think. It was the first or second goal, but yeah, Lindelof got chipped. Basically they were just playing with the defense. To be fair, they couldn't do anything about it. They just ran past. No one was picking up runners. They were just swarming everywhere. We took off Pogba and Alanga and brought on Rashford, Lingard. They offered absolutely nothing. After that, it was just useless, pretty much. And they were just passing the ball around in the 60th minute, doing the olays. And when they're doing olays at 60 minutes, you know there's a problem there. So
it's bad.
They were literally just playing around with us and having fun. Last goal went in 4-1. I said it was off. There was a VAR check for it for a bit. And yeah, the game was over by then anyway, so it was just adding more salt to the wounds. And because I was listening to it, I already knew it was going to be onside before everyone reacted to it, so I was like, yeah, it's onside anyway. So and then I just had to stand there full time because they were keeping everyone back and they'll singing, City will tear you apart again, or City tearing Cockneys apart again, whatever they're singing, and Blue Moon and all that jazz. Well, I know people banter City, and I banter City, and I like to banter them thoroughly. But I will give them credit where credit is due. They turned up on Sunday in terms of their fans, because it was a derby and it was a big game for them. And to be fair, they had a very, 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 very top-notch atmosphere. And yeah, my head was pretty much ringing. It was a very bad day and very long travel back. But the only positives I could really take away from that, they have very good staff who was very supportive and very helpful. Because it was my first away game alone, they sorted me out of anything that I needed. They got me a headset for the game so I could listen to the commentary. They got someone to walk me back to the Metrolink after the game as well. I had to put the colours away because I didn't want to get attacked and assaulted. But yeah, no, I managed to get it back in one piece, which is a miracle. But yeah, not a good Sunday. Not a good Sunday.
Well, definitely an interesting one there. I mean, Luke, what's your thoughts of the game in general? I mean, top 4 chances, you're still in it, but that game. I mean, what did you expect from the game in the first place, and what did you think after it happened?
I expected at least more of a fight, all the way through, and I was expecting a draw at best because we seem to get a lot of draws lately or heavy defeats.
Oh, I hear.
But I was at work. I was at work for the game. Fortunately, now I say that. But from what I saw, yeah, we started off bright, and then come second half, it just it looked like a bunch of school kids on the playground. I don't want to play anymore. That had the wrong attitude, and City were just dictating the game the whole way through. The possession was taking the mick. At one point, they had 92% possession. We had 8%.
Yeah,
that's embarrassing for Manchester United Football Club to have that dominated in the possession of the ball. In terms of top 4, it's looking very thin now. We've got some difficult games. Spurs, yeah, you could say we're both being atrocious, but Spurs could probably, no luck, will give us a game.
Hey, their form recently, if you look at it, it's like they won against City, they lost against Burnley, they
Yeah.
beat Leeds, they lost
Exactly.
to
It's like
Middlesbrough, they
very up
beat
and
Spur,
down.
they beat Everton, and now they
So
have
now
us.
they're going to lose
So
to you.
hopefully,
I hope they
but
lose to us as
I'm not
well.
going to get my hopes up because
But we've
United,
got to go to Anfield as well. I mean, watch
whenever
what
that
happens
happens, you know.
when that
Oh no,
gets
they
rescheduled.
yeah,
This.
no, I'm
Or
not
you
looking
could
forward
just
to
get
that.
a
They're going to
draw.
touch us.
And everyone
They're
will
going to
be
touch us.
Yeah.
No, they're going to touch us.
What?
Yeah, I
George,
mean,
what did you think of the game then?
You what?
loved it.
He was laughing his head off like
He
a
was
maniac.
probably relieved that result fit right into Arsenal's hands, though. So
Well, it was always going to happen. Did anyone seriously think we were going to go and beat City?
you did
You
on the
know?
podcast.
I didn't,
thought
honestly.
draw.
I went with I said I was hoping that we could, but I never seriously
it was
thought
gonna
that
be a
would
draw.
actually win.
Yeah, George said a draw, I think, on the podcast.
I said they would
No,
win.
George said we'd win.
I thought he said, yeah.
I on the podcast I was going to say like 2-0 City, but I was like, back your team. So I was like, eh. But I head of hearts, I was the whole way there. I was like, why are you even going? Why are you doing this to yourself? You know what's going to happen. Why are you setting yourself up for this? And I was like, yeah. You're a good mate, George. You're a good mate.
I cheered you up.
No, you didn't.
I played
No.
Glory Man United on the way home for you.
You are a horrible, horrible man.
Did you actually?
Yeah, I did in the WhatsApp group. I said I played like Glory Man United because he was like saying it's a long train. So, so I watched the highlights as I was traveling home myself. I think it's like Abdi and Luke said, like they were just playing with them. It was like a proper version of Men Against Boys. I agree with old Keno. He proper laid into them. Like he don't.
He always does.
They had to give up, and for players to be playing like that in a Manchester derby is disgraceful for me. No way not in any game should you be having 92% possession. I said this for a while, and I'll probably get shot down. I don't see the difference between Man United now under Ralph, and I don't see it under Ollie. In fact, I think they're worse.
We only lost twice in his time so far.
Defensively, apart from the City game, he's sorted them out. But it's that the way Man United are playing. It's a bit embarrassing, really. Don't know how else to put it, really. De Bruyne got a couple of goals. Mahrez got the other two, didn't he, I suppose? I was a bit annoyed Man United scored out of it all because Cancelo clean sheet points.
Yeah, I lost that as well, but yeah.
Yeah, but
yeah, really.
give credit where it's due. Sancho's goal was quite a good goal, quite a good finish.
I do want to ask you a question. What do you expect Ralph to do? Because he can only do so much with that team. The players have to want to play. Like the manager can only do so much. And Ralph, yes, maybe he will. Like as an interim, I didn't like the whole interim solution anyway. I thought Man United should have gone out and grabbed the manager, or they should have, and had a long-term plan. But they went down the interim route. Doesn't matter if he's going to be there for 5-6 months. You still play for Manchester United. Play for the shirt. Play for the badge. Right? There's not much he can do with that team. He's trying to do it, but the players don't want to play for
Drop him then.
Well, there's only so many players that you can drop. He has dropped players.
Play the youth players. They'd give a fuck, to be fair.
There's too many egos in that club. There is. And
massive.
Yeah, starting with
the
one
leaks,
that you signed in the summer.
Who? Ronaldo?
Yeah.
What's he done?
He hasn't improved you, mate.
I think Ronaldo.
Yeah, I can't. He's okay.
He's rescued them in the Champions League, but apart from
that,
that,
Fernandes was brilliant last season. One of the best players in the league.
Now he's
Since
not because of
Ronaldo's
Ronaldo.
come in, his nose has been pushed out of joint. This is just my opinion. There's another fan, and he's nothing now. Like,
yeah,
no offense, like Ronaldo. All right, if Ronaldo didn't play on Sunday, I don't mean that, but there's a lot of problems at that club. Like you've got the problems that you have with Rashford. like his form. But Ronaldo, like, was
George.
brought in to kind of make you better, and I think you've gone the other way.
George.
Thing is with the
Right.
whole Ronaldo thing, yes, there are games where it hasn't worked out for him, and he has gone on a long drought without goals at the moment. Last week against Watford, we should have done better, and he should have scored probably a couple. Bruno should have scored a couple, but it's just the people not taking their chances. I feel like before in some of the earlier games, he wasn't getting the proper service, so he was just left up top to just feed off scraps. And if you're not giving service to a player, there's not much you can really do to get involved in the game. And with Ronaldo, you know what you're getting. He's 37. He's not going to be running around all day long just going, dropping back. Well, he tries to, but he can't. Like,
All your players do is whinge, mate.
They do. I'm not going to
They're
deny
a
that.
bunch of whinge.
Yeah,
Like,
they are. But the culture
Like-
and the mindset in that club is toxic and rotten. And what Kevin was saying earlier, to be fair, with Arsenal, how Mikel Arteta went in there and he scrubbed out players who were on big wages, the
think that's what
egos
he
in that
needed.
club. Yeah, we kind of need that sort of situation. With Rashford, I just want to quickly say, yes, his form has been really poor this season. Like, he doesn't look anything near what he was beforehand. He went through the injury, he went through stuff after Euros, but he went and had surgery, came back, and people are going to point to what he done off the field. I think that has nothing to do with what he does on the field. Just appreciate that he's done something good off the field, because I'm sure a lot of players do charity work behind the scenes,
I think
but
it's a
what
distraction.
Rashford, a lot of players do charity stuff behind the scenes, but Rashford's one's more highlighted because of him calling out and making it more public. I don't think that should be used as an excuse against him for his poor form. I feel like he's lost confidence in himself, and I feel like people have lost
Can you
confidence
see
in
him
him as
leaving?
well. No, I can't see him leaving, but I just want to quickly say as well, I'm not giving up on him, because I know there is a player inside, and people want to give up on players very quickly and say, oh, he's finished, he's done. He's still young, he's 24, yes, but people need to remember he was injured for 2 years. He had like injury problems for 2 years, and he gave us 30 goal contributions.
Yeah,
30 goal contributions. He scored 20 goals back to back in the last 2 seasons. That Rashford is the Rashford that we need. He hasn't been. If the thing that's been missing is his goals. If he's scoring goals but not performing well, that kind of substitutes, because the goals dried up, people sort of are jumping on him. And yeah, I do agree with the criticism, but I'm not giving up on him, and I don't think people should write him off completely. Go
One
on,
thing I
Austin.
will say about Man United.
Go on, Austin.
Austin, go on, because you're trying to speak there.
We have a new contributor. It's called my dad.
Oh, hey.
He's just walked
Hi,
in.
Dad.
He's just walked in. George says hello.
Hi, George.
He wanted to know
Yeah.
where Kevin was, but he was a bit late. No,
How's
but
the new Man City player, Harry Maguire?
Sorry?
How's
What was
the
that?
new Man City
he
flag?
said, "How's the new Man City player, Harry Maguire?"
The fridge.
Yeah, it was. I thought I was watching Comedy Central. Really, with that defending,
Well, Spurs went on, mate.
I've been watching it.
He's
Nah.
clearing himself in curries.
So
Yeah.
basically, what I was going to say about Man United, Abdi,
Go
is
on.
I think you're getting a new manager in the summer, but surely
Yeah.
that the level of that manager is going to depend on where you finish. Because
I don't think it does. Man United's Man United at the end of the day.
Yeah, but you're not the Man United of like you was, mate.
No, I know, but still, Man United
haven't
is
won
Man United. It's
nothing.
like if I know, but it's like saying if you offered someone the Man United job, of course they're going to take it. It doesn't matter if they're in Europe or
Well, why
not in
would they?
Europe, because it's still Man United at the end of the day. It's like Real Madrid, it's like Barcelona. Even if they're in,
But
if
you
they're not
haven't
in
won
Europe,
nothing for
they'll.
years, mate.
It doesn't matter. They'll still go
It
to
does,
Man
though.
United.
Right, so this is the argument.
Neither have Tottenham. Look at the manager they've got.
Yeah.
they've got.
Antonio
Yeah,
Conte
when-
went to Spurs. Like
when-
He's
money
a high
talks,
profile
man.
manager.
But when before Arteta got the job, loads of people were saying, "Oh, Conte won't go to a team like Arsenal because they're not even in the Champions League or they're not won nothing." Or
Right. But Man
Sorry,
United are
what?
still have been
It's
in
Conte,
top
bro.
4 for the last few seasons. They have been competing in Champions League. If they had one bad season, that manager's going to be like, all right, this team's not that far off. I could probably get rid of some of these players, bring in my own players, turn stuff around and make it a little bit better, you know? Because if realistically, someone needs to go in there, get a hold of things, get rid of certain players, bring in some new players and fix things. It's not as easy as I'm making it sound. Of course, it's not going to be easy. But Man United's Man United at the end of the day, and any manager will come if you offer them the job.
Yeah.
I'm not saying like Pep or Jurgen Klopp or
I
any of
don't
them
think
lot,
you'll get
but
an elite manager if you don't get top
it's
4.
either going to be Pochettino or Ten Hag. But
Right.
Pochettino at the
Ten Hag.
moment isn't
Yeah,
working
I
out
don't
apparently.
I don't think-
Apparently with the PSG stuff, he might be staying depending on how things go. But apparently Ten Hag has overtaken him and all that. So we'll see what happens.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, Man United is still draw and they'll still bring players in.
What do you think, Hubert? Because it's interesting from a Chelsea point of view. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. I don't think
I understand
Man
what you're
United-
saying, but
if Man-
The
Sorry,
only
go on.
thing with me when it comes to hard profile managers, yes, you're Man United, and technically, because like you said, Conte would never go to a club like Arsenal, but
yeah, and
because
that was
you don't.
told by loads of people.
But the thing with this argument is, you take them on board. Conte went to Tottenham, and Tottenham are not exactly a Champions-winning team. They've not, they've not been in the Champions League since
you didn't go for
2019.
Conte, though. That's the thing. If you go for
But
a
the point
manager
is-
and they
the point
come for
is-
you, no, but if you haven't gone for the manager, if you actually went for him and
No,
he
but
came to you, that's a whole different story. No one.
But the argument
we're talking
was-
hypothetically. I get what you're saying in terms of yes, people are saying that, but people are just saying something.
Well,
If
yeah,
people are saying, it doesn't matter what they're saying. It matters if the club actually goes out and does the business. It's
No,
like
it
signing a
doesn't.
player. It doesn't matter if you're saying, "Oh, that player will never come to you. That player will never come to you." Then go prove it. Prove they'll come to you. Go out and sign them.
No, you have to. But I was just more responding to the point that saying,
Yeah, I still
the
get
person
what you guys are saying. But at the end of the day, if you go to a manager and say, "Do you want to manage Manchester United?"
Right, so
Why would
if I
they say
throw
no?
your argument back at you.
Go
So
on.
on a player, you said Haaland, there's no chance he'd sign for Arsenal. You've said that numerous times.
Yeah,
Why,
I have.
Why not? Arsenal's a massive,
because
Arsenal's one of the biggest
I
clubs
thought
in the
no,
world.
but I feel like he'd want to go to more of a Real Madrid type situation.
But what? No, but if we're saying like, why? You said there's no chance. So why?
Because before in the past he has said he's made jokes about Arsenal and stuff. So you can never say never in football. No, you can never say never in football. But I personally wouldn't see
All I'm
Haaland going
saying
to
is
Arsenal.
some of your targets are only because of your name. It's not of the club that you are now. Like you haven't won nothing for years.
Okay,
So you're in a
as
similar
I said,
position to Arsenal.
I know. As
Well,
I've
no,
said,
we're better.
Man United is Man United at the end of the day. The name will still pull people in. All right, that's all I'm saying. We were in the Europa League. When we were in the Europa League, we signed Pogba, we signed Ibrahimovic. They're more Champions League players that want to be in the Champions League, but they still came to us while we're in the Europa League.
Hang on, but then wouldn't you think that Arsenal would drag names in? Because you got to think we're an Invincibles club. We're the only club in the Premier League to be Invincibles. Do you not think that Arsenal has that name where we could pull people in as well as Man United?
Honestly, I don't think you have the spending power or the same sort of pulling power. If it was a straight shootout between like an Arsenal or a Chelsea, I feel like they'll more choose Chelsea. If it was a shootout between Arsenal and United, it is a toss up. I'm not gonna lie, it is a toss up. But I feel like Man United will just be like, we got more money.
Well, like Ramsey did.
Ramsey. People.
Yeah, well-
I'm not saying, but here's the thing: I'm not saying that people will necessarily just choose United. Anyone can make a choice. At the end of the day, it's up to them. Man United have been rejected many times by players. Look at Haaland. We tried to go for him. He wanted to go to Dortmund. We tried to go for Bellingham from Birmingham City to United. He was like, "Nah, I fancy my chance at Dortmund." I'm not saying players are going to automatically come to United or managers are going to automatically come to United, but if we actually go for them and say, come in, or offer them what they're looking for and sell them the actual thing, then I feel like we have a very good chance of bringing them in. But It's not always going to. It's not a guarantee. It doesn't mean just because we're Man United doesn't mean we're going to get anyone we want.
But you've
I've
just
never said we're going to. No, I'm not
you
saying
did.
we're going to get anyone. No, but I don't. I'm not saying we're going to. Don't. I'm not saying we're going to get anybody we want. We don't have the pick of the land, you know. But at the end of the day, we can use the name value and the brand of Man United and the spending power to say, look, you want to come to us. Doesn't mean at the end of the day they're going to say yes. But I feel like there's a better chance by saying that.
I just think some Man United fans need to realise that at their level now, and like you did say that, we're Man United, so people are going to go there just because of the name. What I'm trying to say about that is, I don't think you ain't going to, like, you couldn't, whether you're Man United now, you haven't won nothing since 2017.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you ain't going to get, if someone like a Guardiola come available at the time.
Guardiola's not going to get. No, he's not going to.
No, I'm hypothetical. If Thomas Tuchel come available, or Klopp, or Guardiola at the time, if you was in that position, I don't think they would choose. I don't think any of them would choose you. Like, I think you're in such a similar position to someone like an Arsenal, a team that was massive and is massive across the world, but it's not domestically. It's done nothing for years. And I just think the manager-wise, you need to look at is someone. I'm not saying like an Arteta, but I'm saying someone who goes in and does that, like what Kev said earlier in the show. I just think Man United fans need to become a bit more realistic.
Okay, who do you think we should get in then? That's what I want to ask you. Who's unrealistic for us? Because there's only a few managers out there that are.
I think Ten Hag's unrealistic if you don't get Champions League football.
I don't think that's unrealistic.
Because why would
I don't think it's unrealistic.
Why would you want to leave someone who's in Champions League and play in the Europa League?
I still don't think it's because it's a step up for him and it's a test of his managerial credentials. He wants to test because he hasn't had the chance to prove himself on no disrespect to Ajax, because Ajax are a massive club with a lot of European pedigree, but on a bigger scale globally with more eyes on you, he'd want to prove himself at a club like that. I'm not saying that he's guaranteed to come to United, because I'm not saying no one's guaranteed, no one's this, no one's that. But at the end of the day, if he wants to prove himself, he'll go to United. It doesn't mean that he should, but personally, I'd take him, of course.
Yeah,
Pochettino, there's that. But at the end of the day, look, I know what you're saying, I know where you're coming from, but it's going to either be Pochettino or Ten Hag. If it's not one of them two, I don't know who's going to be, but it's going to be between all of them.
Brendan Rodgers. I'm not even joking.
It's not going. It wouldn't go down well with United. It wouldn't go down with United.
Well, because he managed Liverpool.
Yeah, because it wouldn't go down well.
Austin, have we got any comments on the? Have we got any more
that's
comments?
what I was just about to state.
Go ahead.
Before we wrap it up.
I must admit, sorry for the interruption from my dad. He's a massive Arsenal fan, so he wanted to meet Kevin, but unfortunately he was a little bit too late. So I apologise for that, and I apologise for any background noise on my behalf.
Don't worry, just any.
So
comments?
Tom has put that he would not take the United job, and that as of 2021, United.
You're an Arsenal fan. You're talking as an Arsenal fan. Go ahead.
As of 2021, United were £445 million in debt. Doesn't suggest that you have money to me.
Point.
It does. We still have money.
What, 445 million?
Look at how many clubs are in debt. Everyone's in debt. Barcelona are in debt. That's
why have you spent no money?
Yeah. Huh?
What do you mean? We haven't spent
no
any money.
Right, recent apart from Sancho,
mate. The only reason we're in debt is because the Glazers saddled us with that debt. They've taken the money out. They don't want to wipe those debts. They can easily wipe those debts if they wanted to. They just don't want to. But we can spend the money. So
we could have another show. Maybe this could be one in the summer to talk about
a debate show.
Specific clubs.
Yeah.
Well, definitely.
We got way off track.
We definitely did. Abdi went off on one there. I don't blame him, though, to be fair. Don't blame me, though, mate.
I'm trying to defend my club, mate. I'm just trying to defend my club because
it was a good debate, but let's.
It was a good debate, and you made good points
there.
Defending
your club. That was just like
it's an interesting
the beauty of Sportsmania. I have my opinion, and Abdi's got his. Like, I don't think there's any wrong opinion.
When it comes to United fans, what was interesting to hear your point, because then over the weekend, especially on Season 606, I was forced to listen to a lot of what I'd call Manchester entitled fans who think because they're Man United, they should
This
get
is my
this and that.
argument.
And it's like I'm
no,
sick and tired of the Manchester entitled brigade.
Yeah, no, I'm not entitled in terms of that. I don't think we deserve this, that, or we deserve to be winning league titles, all that stuff. I understand the position we
Most of
are.
your fans do.
No,
That's
I
the
know,
problem.
they are. That's they're
And that's
them.
more
you know.
my issue with United.
Yeah,
like,
well,
It's like the thing
forget
is,
them.
Abdi,
You're talk one-on-one with me because I'm the one who's here.
you're
and I'm-
giving a level
and
head.
Luke
one
as
with the
well.
great-
Yeah.
Order.
You know, we're the only ones who are really
John
here
Burko,
that
stand
are
up. Hold on, can we
talking
let John
about
Burko speak? please?
United anyway. So
Order.
when you bring because I can be like, oh, Arsenal fans this, Arsenal fans that, and talk around.
No, we're
but
being ignored by Abdi.
Order.
I'm
Right.
just gonna ignore him because he's been annoying. So
Jesus Christ.
Order.
Right, what is it, Austin? Have you got any more comments before I wrap this up? Because
Yes. Yeah, I have. That's what I was saying. Order.
Read them then.
read them then. Go on.
Tom said they borrow against themselves. They aren't interested in the football. Never have been. Well done,
no,
Tom.
they haven't.
Round of applause.
They're shit owners. They're shit owners. I hate those. I was about to say CUNTs, but yeah, I hate
thought
them.
you were.
I was worried there.
I had to stop myself.
No.
But yeah, no, I
They're
really
incompetent.
despise them.
They're bank
I
management.
despise them
They're
with-
just
Yeah,
bank
they're
managers. They're not
businessmen.
football-
They know what they know
they're
exactly
not
what they're
football
doing.
people.
They
They're
knew
not
exactly.
football people.
Yeah, they're businessmen. They knew what they were doing.
Who's
Arsenal
Rachel?
and Man United might as well shit. Do you know what? Arsenal and Man United might as well just shake hands with this shit owners we have.
Well, why?
Oh dear.
That's right, why? We both have shit
Okay.
owners. Just
So if
get over
Arsenal
it.
get top four, what have the
Yeah.
owners done that's that bad this season?
Cronky
like-
sympathizer. Cronky sympathizer.
No,
I'm joking.
I'm just asking
I'm
the
joking.
question.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
So what if
Yeah.
they've took the money
You
and
put me off for KFC because he looks like the KFC man.
no,
That's
so
what-
they financially they've messed us up for a long time since they've been there.
yeah.
But if Arsenal get top four,
Then that's
I'm
down
not
to
saying I
Arteta
agree with it.
and stuff.
They've spent 150 million, so
That's down to Arteta and the coach.
And you've
stuff.
bought some players in the summer. You've had pretty good transfer window in the summer.
Oh yeah, no, the
Yeah,
summer.
you didn't buy every player off your wish list,
No.
but you got
I
Tomiyasu.
think a lot of
Oh,
people will be actually surprised how much money financially transfers we've actually had.
Oh yeah, no, summer. I completely agree with. Just
But
Summer, you spent more than
more than
some-
most.
most.
like,
Like,
Mm.
yeah,
I don't
I think you're
like
top
the
spenders.
Cronkies.
Yeah.
I don't like the Cronkies. Everyone knows that, but you have to give credit when it's due. Like if we go and win get top four, win the top four, whatever, win the
I
trophy.
was, I was like, wait, what?
we get a
Avengers
trophy
back.
back
The
now.
top four trophy.
Yeah.
Whack it out, boys.
Conte called it a top four title, didn't he?
Yeah,
did,
exactly.
he did.
Spurs.
Can't say that to Tottenham. That would be a title. To.
Yeah. But you've got to think the people they brought in, and there is a lot of damage they've done to the club, and with the Super League, all that sort of stuff for another show. But you have to give like Josh Kroenke. He says the right things, and at the moment, before anyone jumps on me and holds me down and
Excuse me.
threatens my
Now,
life,
where are you taking this?
at the moment, what Josh has said is he has been right. He said, "Be excited." Is Arsenal fans not excited now?
Yeah.
You sure about that, Austin?
Didn't sound
But-
No, then.
I've been
Yes.
watching a lot of Darren Farley. Leave me alone.
But if
How's that?
we don't go and put our money where our mouth is, because if we do get top four is not just for me. That's not where you start. That's not good enough.
No, that's to
Arsenal
carry on
football-
from there.
Arsenal Football Club should be title challenging.
Well, as John said, Arsenal get top four. We will be aiming to win the Premier League next season.
Yeah, and I
If you get top four, you win the Premier League and Champions League. You heard
Exactly.
it here first.
because Arsenal
Well
are
done.
massive everywhere they go.
Finally, Abdi's discovered his true side.
What?
It was about time.
No, it's a bet that's been going on. Is there any more
Yeah.
comments before we wrap it up?
Yes.
That was the. There was one,
Yeah.
but I do apologise. I can't read the name.
Spell it. then.
I can't.
IT.
I think it's in.
Just read it.
Just read the comment, mate.
Well, the comment is, Ha ha ha! Top 4 trophy.
Yep,
Oh,
definitely. Well, there we go. Thank you very much, guys, for coming onto the show. Thank you to Kevin for attending. It was a pleasure, and you're definitely back. And thank you all for your comments. And hopefully, we will see you soon. From us at Sportsmania here, have a good evening and enjoy today's Champions League football.
remember to do it, subscribe and like and share and like all the
Follow us on the Twitter
socials.
machine at Official Westmania. Yeah,
Go everywhere else. We
do
are.
everything, Linktree, all that good stuff.
And if you're interested
Follow
in
people on-
participating on the show, please drop
Get in touch.
any of us a message.
Yeah.
And where
what's-
let's go for where
Yeah,
people
go
can
on.
find us. Abdi, where can people find you, my friend?
At A Abdullahi26 at AABDULLAHI26.
At the
Austin, what's your Twitter handle?
I was
please?
at the Etihad. I'm not there anymore.
My Twitter handle is at Sullivan Austin, but with 3 L's, not 2.
George, my friend.
So you can find me everywhere, basically.
To be honest, that is
Don't
true.
worry, you'll
How
see,
many
you'll see,
shows
yeah.
have you done today?
That is true.
At George, I've completely forgotten my. Is it
At George S19.
at George S 1993 and
AFC.
AFC at the end?
Luke, where can people find you?
At UGD fans galore.
McDonald's.
Fantastic. And you can find me on at Subsonics UK. That's SUBSONIX UK. You can read my ramblings if you so wish. But yes, thank
we
you,
shall
everyone.
return on Friday.
Champions League will be
Champions
coming
League.
Friday. Be there and enjoy the Champions League football for the week. We'll see you soon.
1 week. 1 week, baby.
Peace.
Is England's priceless gem!